Alright guys, I'm just making this video to show you a little last minute part of our in-class project since you guys had to take off to get to your next class. So pay attention here and let's see how this works. So your code is in the GitHub. You can go over there and get it. I'm just going to focus on showing you a couple of things that it's hard to explain in words. So here's our code. The first thing that I did wrong when we were in class is I actually forgot to put the do competition method there, right? So that's why the logic to set the number of winners never happened. Now, another thing I wanted to demonstrate in class is the use of the debugger. So you see here in Visual Studio Code, just like in the other debuggers, IDEs you use, you put a breakpoint, and then we can go here and say debug, and we can step through the line, one line at a time. And we can also drop watches on variables, right? So I can say watch that variable. So add to watch, and I can keep track of what's going on with it. So I definitely encourage you to play with the debugger and get really talented at using it. So you see now we see what our lions and tigers arrays look like. We've set up the arrays. They have not been populated with any data yet. So let's do that next. So you see here I'm going over my for loop. And you can see here that each element of the array is getting a lion or a tiger. And we can see what its strength is being set to. So you can go and do that. And I'm just going to go up here and drop a sorry, it's been a long day. A debug point. So now I'll say continue. So it'll go all the way to line 8, which is the next debug point. And now I'm into my do competition method. So I'm going to step into that. And you see I'm initializing my lions and my tigers to 0. And then it goes and does the looping there, and it loops around. Now, the one version of this code, which is still some kind of a problem, really, if you think about it, is that randomly the lions and tigers will come out being winners an equivalent number of times. Now, remember what we said in class last week, what the lions represent and what the tigers represent. And we realize the tigers always need to be the winners because that's just what's going on in real life. So we need to do a little bit of an adjustment here to make sure that the tigers always come out the winners, or they'll get all upset and they won't talk to us. That's the way it happens in real life, I think. So here, if we look at the last little bit of code that I put in the report method, see that's do competition. Actually, I put it in the do competition method. So we said if the number of lion winners is greater than the number of tiger winners, which means it seems like lions is stronger than tigers, which that's a big no, 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 no. Remember what they represent. So to fix that incorrect situation, we just went and adjusted it, right? We said that if it somehow, through some bizarre accident, happens that lions are stronger than tigers, then we just swap it around. And in the case where it's equal, then we do what happens in real life, which is we bump the lions down and we push the tigers up. And if you go and do all of that, if you play with this code, I'm going to take these debug points away to get it to the end. Now look at one more thing I did here, because I wanted to do 10 runs. So I wanted to see over, or maybe even 100 or 1,000. And in the real world, if we were writing an object-oriented application to simulate a process, you would actually log this out to a file, like an Excel spreadsheet or something. Then you could use a statistical analytics software. Let's say you're modeling things going on in a factory assembly line or something. You would log out your results and use a SAS package to go and analyze them later. But for right now, I just put it in a for loop so we could get like at least 10 runs. So let's take away the debug points. And I want you to play with the debugger. I mentioned that, right? The only way to get good at programming is to draw pictures and use the debugger. So use the debugger in your favorite IDE. And let's finish running this. And now you see here, are the tigers always coming out the winners? Yes. So see, tigers are always the winners. So all of our code is correct. So especially this last little bit here, which fixes it up. If for some strange reason the lion might be the winner sometimes, which would never happen, then we just go and do this stuff right here to fix it up. Anyway, that was a fun class. I hope you guys take this example out of GitHub and play with it. See you later. Bye. Good luck with your career as Java programmers.